Good morning. It's fantastic to see so many of you online this morning for this very special Zoom assembly with me. I'm Mrs. Ginn. I'm going to be the head of Year 7 in September, and it is wonderful to see so many of you here. I know some of you are in school and your primary school teachers are with you and have put this on for you, and maybe others of you are at home for whatever reason unable to be taking part, and I think we've got some parents on as well, so thank you for that. Like I say, my name is Mrs. Ginn. I work at Abraham Moss Community School in the secondary phase, and I've just been head of Year 11, and so I'm rolling round to being head of Year 7, and I absolutely cannot wait to meet each and every one of you. Obviously, we'd have been hoping to meet face-to-face around this time this year, but due to what's going on around the world at the moment and with the pandemic, unfortunately, that's not been possible. So it's absolutely fantastic to have so many of you here online ready for this Zoom assembly, because we are really excited to get to know you, to meet you, to see you in person, and also we want to give you an idea about why Abraham Moss Community School is such a fantastic place to come to, why I think you're really fortunate to be joining us in September, and why I think you'll really enjoy your experience and your time here, and hopefully be incredibly successful and make great progress over the next 5 years. So I'm just going to share a PowerPoint with you. You won't be able to see me, but you will be able to see the PowerPoint, so don't worry about that. So on the screen, what you will see is you will see our motto. Now, if you've seen our logo previously, it used to be in Latin, Ex Diversitate Viris. Well, the head teacher has rebranded the school, and I think it's a really, really important message that's being given, because we are a school that is all about inclusivity and accessibility. And obviously most people don't speak Latin. So the fact that we've had it translated into the English, which basically means strength through diversity, I think is great. But also the message that that gives us, that through diversity, we are stronger, and we do have strength in diversity. And at Abraham Moss Community School, we are a very, very diverse community. And that word community is so important. We really do believe that we are a community school because we have a lot of links to our community. We really think about our community, and we work well together as a school within the community. And also as a school, we have our own community as well. But we are very diverse within our community, and we have lots of people from different backgrounds that speak different languages, you know, with different jobs and from different countries, and with different challenges that they overcome on a daily basis. And we really respect and value every single person here at Abraham Moss. So we are incredibly inclusive, we're very accessible, and we really do believe that we have strength within our diversity. And like I said before, we are a community school, and we're very, very proud of that. We're also called Abraham Moss, and Abraham Moss was the Lord Mayor of Manchester, and he did some fantastic things for the local community, and again, comes back to that Abraham Moss Community School. If you don't know too much about Abraham Moss, you will learn more, both from the welcome pack we hand out and also when you join us. But we really do believe in celebrating and recognising inspirational individuals here at Abraham Moss Community School, and Abraham Moss was one of those. So he lived locally, and he worked incredibly hard to help the area, to make improvements within education, libraries. He worked with people of different religions, and he just worked incredibly hard to make things better for people in this community. And so we want to recognise him, and we also want to recognise some other really inspirational individuals that you'll learn more about once you join us in September. So I'm sure one of the questions you're thinking about is, what does a typical day look like at Abraham Moss? Well, this is just to give you a flavour. Now, it might be slightly different to this come September, but at the minute, Year 7s, well, every year group has 5 lessons a day, and that will be the same for you. Year 7 have 2 slightly shorter lessons because you have an extra break in the afternoon, and I believe that's still going to be the case. We're not sure yet whether that can be outside or not, but you will have a break in the morning, a break in the afternoon, and you'll have a lunchtime where you definitely will be able to get outside if you want to. And you'll have your 5 lessons. And some of those will be hours long, some of those will be 45 minutes long or thereabouts. But your first lesson will start at 8:30 in the morning. So it's incredibly important that you are there on time for that lesson, because your teacher will be ready to start at 8:30. And so you should be there with your equipment ready to go at 8:30. And so because of that, we ask you to be in school by 8:26 at the latest, really before 8:25. And as Year 7s, you will have a dedicated entrance to come through, and that will be the main school entrance. So next week, you'll be invited to come and collect some welcome packs on the 13th and 14th of July. And exactly when you will come and collect that will be in the letter that I've already sent to your parents and carers or to your primary schools. It's also on the school website on the transition page if you've not yet had that and you want it. And it has gone in the post to some families. But within that letter, it tells you exactly when to come based on which primary school you go to. And at that, hopefully you'll be able to meet some of the key staff that you'll be working with next year. You'll be able to pick up a welcome pack, including some branded merchandise that will help make Year 7 a little bit easier. And you'll be able to get some more information. But where you're going to get that welcome pack from is the main entrance. And that's where you will come in the morning before 8:26 every day. And that's really important because that gives you 5 minutes to get to your lesson so you are ready and able to learn when the bell goes at 8:30 for your first class. Now, usually what happens is if students are late and they come after that time, then we'll be contacting parents and carers and you'll be sent home. Now, obviously, as Year 7s, you're getting used to things. It's a new setup. You might not quite know the site. You might not quite know where you need to be. So there will be a few days where we'll make some exceptions, but it's not going to last very long, Year 7. So the quicker that you can get into the right habit and the right routine, the better for yourselves, because then you'll feel better about it. You'll be feeling more positive. You'll be feeling more capable, and your learning's not going to be interrupted. So if you can, try and get to school by at least 8:25 on that first day. And if you can come a little bit earlier, even better, because then there'll be lots and lots of staff there to point in the right direction. There'll be lots of teachers in high-vis jackets. I'll be there, your pastoral manager will be there, there'll be senior members of staff there and other members of staff on duty. And you can ask absolutely anybody in a high-vis jacket that works for Abraham Moss for help, and we will help and support you and get you to the right place. But you do need to get into that habit. And on that first day, when you arrive before 8:26, you'll be directed through the main entrance into the school hall. And that's where we'll have an assembly where we'll all be together. And it'll be the first time we get to see the entire year group in one room. And that'll be really, really special. And it'll be lovely to see all of your faces in person, because I've heard quite a bit about you, but haven't obviously met you. But also, I don't know that much about you. So this is a really exciting time for you because it's a fresh start. We do get bits of information to try and help transition be a little bit easier, but I am making no prejudgments about anybody. I want to get to know you for who you are, and this really is a clean slate for everybody. So it's a really exciting time for you to make new friends, for you to get to know new staff, and for you to really come across as the person you want to come across as. And that might mean that, you make new friends in addition to ones you had from primary school. Some of you might come across with people you knew from primary, and some of you might know nobody at all. You might be the only person from your school. And all of that is okay, because there's going to be new friendships made, there's going to be new relationships formed, and you're all going to get to know staff. So we'll start with that assembly, and then following the assembly, you will go to your tutor bases, your tutor rooms, and you'll get to know your tutors. You'll get to know who's in your tutor group a little bit better. And some of you will have your fingerprints taken for the payment system for lunchtimes. And if your parents or carers have said you want a swipe card instead, we'll sort that out. Your parents or carers do need to therefore fill in this online form that was in the letter. And if they haven't done yet, if you could just prompt them and ask them to do that would be great. Because on that first day, most people will probably have fingerprints done. If your parent or carer would prefer a swipe card to be done, we can sort that out. And then you'll make sure you're okay to get your lunch on that first day. Please be careful. If you've got the swipe card, don't lose it, because to have them replaced will come with a charge. And we really don't want your parents or carers to have to keep paying for that because you've lost it. So please do be responsible if you've got the swipe card. Obviously, if you've got the fingerprint, it's a bit harder to lose that. And then we'll also have the photographs taken. So those will go on our system, but also it will then have the opportunity for your families will then have the opportunity to be able to get those. So there'll be fingerprints and cards sorted for lunchtime, photographs taken, and you'll get to spend some time in your tutor rooms with your tutors and your tutor groups, getting to know each other, which will be really lovely. And these are some of the key staff you'll see at that main reception on your first day. And you might even see us around when you come and collect your welcome pack. So obviously the top picture there, that's me, Mrs. Ginn. That was pre-lockdown hair. We've got Miss Whitfield, who's going to be your pastoral manager, and Mr. Stokes, who is the assistant head teacher. He is responsible for pupil leadership. So you'll see a lot of him around as well. And the three of us will be there to support you, both on that first day and over your time at Abraham Moss Community School. We've already talked about punctuality then, so it's really, really important you are on time. Like I say, there'll be a little bit of flexibility for those first few days whilst you're finding your feet and you're getting to know the site, but we will be locking entrances at 8:26. Staff will not allow you through. Phone calls home will be made, and we just don't want that happening. We don't want your learning disrupted any further. We're well aware how resilient and fantastic you've all been during this year that's been very in and out of school, very up and down. You know, things have been really different and in many respects really difficult, and you've done incredibly well to get to where you are, and we want things to be as smooth as possible going forward. So getting to school on time is a really important part of that. And again, being in school every day is really important. I'm sure your primary schools and your primary school teachers have gone on about how important it is for you to be in the classroom learning. Well, our target for every year group is 97%. And most of the time we do really, really well to either meet that or get close to that. And as year sevens, we traditionally have the best attendance in the school. So please, year seven, don't let me down. And I'm hoping we can carry that on over the next few years. So our year group will always be the best, because if you're in school, you're safe, you're learning, and hopefully you're happy. And if there's an issue with any of that, please do talk to myself or Miss Whitfield, and we will do what we can to make things better for you. But you have a lot of days off per year. So when it is a school day, it's really important you're in. We do have a half day Friday. We finish at 12:15 on a Friday. You finish at 2:45 Monday to Thursday. Obviously, unless you've got to stay for any reason. Hopefully no one has to stay for any reason, such as detention. We would like people to be able to go home at 2:45 or attend a club of their choosing at 2:45. We certainly don't want anyone having to come back with report cards or sit in detentions or anything like that. And I'm sure you're not going to let me down there, year six going into year seven. So when you arrive, I've already mentioned, you will spend some time in your tutor groups, and year seven will have 10 tutor groups this next year. And your tutor groups will have already been chosen for you. So most of your lessons are going to be within a particular zone in the school. Year seven will have a dedicated zone, and the head of year and pastoral manager office will be based there. And you will have a lot of your lessons in that zone. One of the things we learned from changing things around in the school during the pandemic is how important it was that students and staff built really strong relationships by spending more time together, and particularly within the year group, how much better relationships were and stronger relationships were if the year group spent more time as a year group. So we are going to have a zone where a lot of your lessons are going to be. Certainly all of your tutor sessions are going to take place within that zone, as will PSHE lessons that we do. And like I say, you will go to some other classrooms as well, but it will be split between the year seven zone where you'll have where you'll spend a lot of your time, and then you'll go to specialist classrooms for subjects where you need the equipment. So things like science labs for science, things like using the sewing machines or the wood cutting machines and drills and saws and things for D&T. You go down to the kitchens for catering. You might go to the art rooms to do things up there. And obviously computing, you need some computers. So there will be times when you're not in that zone, but a lot of your time will be spent within the year seven zone and in your tutor rooms. And as I've just said, you will get the chance to study an awful lot of subjects. When you get to later on in your time at Abraham Moss, you will choose some subjects to study to do your GCSE qualifications in, and everybody will do English, maths and science and religious studies. Everybody will also do a language GCSE. And this is where, if you've got a language that you speak at home, and if you can read and write in it, or your family can support you with reading and writing in it, then that will actually give you more choice when it comes to your GCSE options, because you'll be able to do what's called a first language GCSE. If you don't speak a language at home, not a problem, but you will then do a language GCSE in school, and you will need to choose from what we have on offer as a language. Everybody will also choose a humanities subject, so you'll either do history, geography or humanities pathway, and then you will get a free choice, or like I say, if you're doing a first language GCSE, you might get two choices from the rest of the subjects available. But the really nice thing about year seven is you get to have a taster for most of those subjects. And some of the subjects you'll do are subjects you may never have done at primary school before, or you might have done them but not in the same way, or you might not have had the same equipment and facilities available. So it really is an exciting time for you to try lots of different subjects, to build on the excellent knowledge you've already got from primary school and all the hard work that your primary teachers have put in as well, particularly in the subjects that you've studied this year and in previous years. But there will be some subjects where you get an entirely new experience, and I think you'll find that really exciting and hopefully really engaging. And so to give you a feel for what that would be like and the different subjects we have on offer and the specialist teachers you will have for each of those subjects, because in primary school, a lot of you will have one teacher for all the different subjects, and you might have, you know, the odd lesson where someone who is a specialist comes in, maybe for music or PE or a language. But I think a lot of the time, most primary schools have a model where they have one main class teacher that teaches everything. In secondary school, you will have a tutor that you'll see every day and that will kind of oversee everything for you. And you'll have myself and Miss Whitfield who will have an overview of your academic progress, your welfare, all those types of things. But you will have different teachers for different subjects because they're specialists in those subjects. And so we thought it would be nice for you to get to meet some of those people. Usually, if it wasn't for the pandemic, you would come in and you would have a go at some of those subjects, you'd try out different lessons and you'd meet different members of staff. We do have lessons available for you to look at on the school website to give you a bit of a taste for what you might study, and we'll come back to that later. But obviously that doesn't mean you get to meet the members of staff. So we put together this video so that you can get to see some of the members of staff, you can get a feel for the building that you're going to be learning in, and hopefully it'll just give you a bit more of a taste of what it means to be an Abraham Moss Community School secondary phase pupil. So I'm going to share this video with you now. I'll just stop this for a second. And we will share this link, and I hope you enjoy this video and getting to know the various members of staff and the building that you will be in over the next 5 years. Hello, I'm Mrs. Ginn and I'm going to be your head of year, and we can't wait to welcome you to Abraham Moss Community School. So we're going to go on a quick tour to meet some of the key staff and hear from some of the pupils. So to start with, this is a really important room for you. This is the head of year office. So in here you'll find me, your head of year, and your pastoral manager, and this is a place you can come if you ever want to have a chat, if you've got any problems, or if you just want to ask for some advice. You're always welcome at the head of year's office. So as well as your head of year, I'm also a science teacher, and in here you'll find other friendly members of the science department.
Hi everyone, my name is Mr. Reid. I'm a science teacher at Abraham Moss. We've got a wonderful department that will be taking you through some cool experiments in one of our science labs, and I'm looking forward to welcoming you in September.
We love getting creative here at Abraham Moss, as you can see. So welcome to the art department.
Hi, I'm Mr. Jackson, one of the 5 art teachers at Edinburgh Community School. We do loads of great art when you come to us, lots of different techniques and materials that you'll be learning that you've not done before, so we're looking forward to seeing you.
At first, I was very scared to come into high school because it seemed a lot more different and bigger, but then I met a lot of new people and settled in quickly.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Madame Ginn, and welcome to the MFL department.
Hola, guten Morgen, ciao, assalamu alaikum, marhaba, and what else? Hello, this is Miss Lopez from the Languages Faculty. Don't worry if you're a bit nervous about starting a school, and if English is not your first language, we will always be able to help you in your first language.
What advice would I give to my year 6 self? To make the most out of high school, because before you know it, it's over.
We love reading here at Abraham Moss, and we are really fortunate to have such a fantastic library.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Singleton and I'm the Learning Resource Centre or Library Manager. I'm really looking forward to seeing you all in September in the library. It's a place that you can visit before school, at break or at lunch to read, work or quietly socialise with your friends. We've bought loads of new books and furniture this year to give you the best possible library experience, and we really hope that you'll think about joining our team of pupil librarians once you get into year 8 to help us with our daily duties. See you soon.
And we have some fantastic IT resources.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Jamil and I'm a teacher in ICT department. So during our lessons we'll be doing lots of creative things such as using Scratch again, which is familiar hopefully for some of you from primary school. We also go on to using Python, which is a little bit more advanced, and things such as Photoshop as well. For those of you that are more interested in how a computer works, we do lots of topics on networks and the different components needed to make sure the computer works properly. We're really looking forward to seeing you in September to join in with our fantastic ICT lessons.
At the start it was a bit scary because I didn't really know anyone, but the teachers were quite welcoming, so it was quite easy to fit in.
The humanities subjects are ones students love.
Hello Year 7, my name is Mr Kelly and I'm from the History Department at Abraham Moss Community School. We all look forward to seeing you next year. There's lots of members of the department looking to do lots of fun, exciting things with you. When you come, you'll be studying history in a lot more depth than you've done in primary school, studying lots of interesting topics like castles, the feudal systems, doomsday. So stay safe over the summer, and we all look forward to seeing you in September.
When you're in year 7, you shouldn't stress and just work hard. Working hard will get you far in life.
Hello, my name's Mrs. Stephen. I'm here to talk to you about citizenship. You're going to learn about this as part of PSHE in year 7, and there's loads of opportunities for you to take part. If there's anything you want to change around you, in your town, in your school, in your country, this is what citizenship is. It's about interacting with other people and the government to make things better. We're going to give you lots of clubs and opportunities to take part from an early age because we want you to have a voice. So hoping you'll get involved and looking forward to seeing you in September.
What I like about Abraham Moss is that there are a lot of clubs to attend, which is brilliant for making lots of new friends.
Everyone is welcome at Abraham Moss Community School, and some students with medical needs will access barrier-free. It's a lovely, welcoming space.
At first I was very worried because secondary school's a lot bigger than primary. But actually there's nothing to worry about because there's a lot of teachers and they can show you around and then you'll get used to it.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Frost and I'm one of the 5 teachers in the Religious Studies department. You'll have 1 lesson a week of Religious Studies all through your time at Abraham Moss, and in year 7 we do some amazing stuff. We get to learn about ourselves and our local community and the different religions you'll find in the country and the world, and we can't wait to see you.
I'd say just take it easy because these are going to be the best 5 years of your life.
Maths is a really important subject.
Hello everyone, my name is Miss Wolfer and I'm one of the maths teachers here at Abraham Moss, and I am looking forward to teaching you all next year.
Hi, I'm Miss Marshall from the Maths department here at Abraham Moss. We can't wait to see you next year where we'll have lots of fun-filled activities and challenges for you to do.
Hello, I joined Abraham Moss High School in the start of year 7 and I thought it wouldn't be very cool and I might not fit in very well, but it turns out it was actually amazing. All the lessons are very, very fun, the teachers are very supportive and the students there are also nice to me as well. I've made many friends and it's been a very good time.
At Abraham Moss, everyone does English and some students choose media studies.
Hi, I'm Miss Clark from the English department and I love reading. In your English lessons you'll get to read so many books from Roald Dahl to Shakespeare. All of you will be given a copy of this wonderful book. Make sure you read it over the summer because lots of your lessons, including English, will be based on it.
Hi, my name is Miss Iltaf and I'm a member of the English department at Abraham Moss. When you arrive at our school, you'll see that there's lots of different opportunities for you to get involved. Our extracurricular clubs include reading, spelling bees, and we also have lots of opportunities for you to write stories during lessons with a range of prizes. We look forward to seeing you next year.
My name's Mrs. Robinson Smith and I'm an English teacher here at Abraham Moss. In year 7, you will study a variety of topics, including poetry, Shakespeare and Roald Dahl's short stories unit, and you'll be able to write your own persuasive speech. We hope you're really excited to get here and we all can't wait to meet you.
I would advise myself in year 6 to take year 7 easily and use it as a time to make friends and have fun.
We love sport here at Abraham Moss and there are lots to choose from.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Bo Butters. I'm the head of PE at Abraham Moss. We have a fantastic PE department. We offer lots of sports during our lessons. You will do some football, basketball, you may do some boxing or some orienteering. We also offer an extensive programme after school which you can take part in. We do some amazing sports days. We take part in national school sports. We play lots of tournaments and games against other schools. We really can't wait to see you in September.
New design and technology.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Brown. I'm in design technology. In design technology, you design, make and take home a product or a dish. So in our workshops, you will get to use some of the machines that are in there and the tools. In the textiles room, you get to use the sewing machines, and in the food rooms, you will get to use all of our kitchens. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in September.
When I first got here, I didn't know I was going to fit in, but when I started enjoying sports and the lessons, I made lots of friends and it was really easy and I had nothing to be worried about.
Some students will access the resource provision, otherwise known as the base. Those students will get to know Mrs. Knowles really well.
Hello,
Hello everybody, my name is Mr Taylor and I am the Head of Performing Arts at Abraham Moss. Year 7s will get 1 lesson of drama and 1 lesson of music a week. We have lots of extracurricular clubs. If you'd like to learn how to play an instrument, or you already play an instrument, or you'd like to take part in one of our many clubs or productions, you'd be very welcome, and we look forward to welcoming you here in September.
What advice would I give to my Year 6 self? To stay positive, to keep working hard, and to listen in class.
My name's Miss Brett, I'm Head of Music. I am really looking forward to seeing you guys when you come in September and be our new Year 7 intake. There's going to be lots of exciting things for you to get involved in. In the music department we've got loads of instruments that I can't wait for you to get your hands on. So don't worry about anything at all, you're going to be absolutely fine, and make sure you say hello when I see you in September, okay?
Okay, so hopefully that's given you a bit of a taste for what school will offer you in September and what is so special about Abraham Moss, and also how excited we all are to meet you here in the secondary phase at Abraham Moss Community School. So going back to the PowerPoint then, obviously we know that you want to arrive on your first day with everything, you know, ready properly, exactly how you would like to present. And so there's a few key things really for you to take away from this assembly this morning to help make that a little bit easier. Now you will get this information in the welcome pack that you will come and collect on either the 13th or 14th of July based on whichever primary school it is you go to. But in terms of uniform, I'll mention this in the Parents and Carers Talk to Parents on Tuesday, but just so that you're aware, our school uniform, you saw some of it in that clip then, is a black school blazer over a white shirt or blouse. Unless you want to wear a shalwar kameez or a jilbab. You can wear a black school skirt, obviously if you're a girl, black school trousers, everybody can wear those. You need to have a suitable school bag, we'll come back to that in a minute. It needs to be a rucksack large enough to fit several A4 size books in. We expect every student as well to bring a sensible coat. So it shouldn't be a denim coat, it should be something that is waterproof, so that if you're outside on the yard at break time or lunchtime, that you're not getting wet on your way to and from school, you're not getting here and you're really soggy and going to be uncomfortable in your lessons. If students are too hot, then you do need to ask your teacher for permission to take your blazer off, but obviously if it is particularly warm in the classroom, then teachers will let you know that and they'll agree to that. If it's particularly cold, then again you can make your teacher aware and there might be something we can do about that. If you do know that you often feel cold in a classroom or in an environment that maybe other people either don't, or you particularly suffer from the cold, then you can wear a school jumper, you can wear a cardigan. We sell school jumpers through Ziggy's, or like I say, it can be a plain black cardigan. In terms of the tie, we have an Abraham Moss tie. At Key Stage 3, which is what you'll be when you come in Year 7, you will have a striped tie, and it's a clip-on one, so you don't need to worry about trying to do it up. When you get later on in the school, it'll then be a plain black tie with the school logo on. And if you get a position of responsibility like a prefect or a head pupil, then you will have a different coloured tie to show that off, and at the minute they're blue. You need to wear sensible plain black school shoes, and it can't be a shoe with a heel. So it needs to be a solid shoe, either leather or something very similar to leather. We don't allow anything that's canvas or anything like that. We don't allow school shoes that are black but look like trainers. It needs to be a proper shoe. So the type of shoe that maybe your parent or carer would wear to an interview, but obviously I would assume maybe a smaller size. Some of you might have incredibly large feet, but we are looking for a smart standard school shoe. And like I say, ideally leather. If you can't have leather for some reason, then that type of man-made version of a leather material. If you want to wear tights, you can do, but they need to be black or navy coloured tights. Black would be in keeping with our uniform, probably better. And if you wear a headscarf, then it needs to be a plain black headscarf. Same with anything else that you use for your hair, any bobbles, any headbands, anything like that. They need to be black in keeping with our school uniform. And that's the sort of thing that we're looking at. So you can see there, depending on what your personal preference is as to how you want to follow the uniform, you've got a range of different attire there that you can choose from, but all of those meet our school uniform requirements. Like I say, no short skirts, no jeans, no skinny trousers, no shoes that look like trainers, high heels, canvas shoes. And in terms of jewellery, I suppose the easiest thing to say is no jewellery, but actually that's not strictly true. We do allow one set of stud earrings. We don't allow loops. You can see there for yourself, there's a few things that we don't allow, but ultimately for health and safety purposes, that's the reason we say no to most jewellery. But you can wear a set of stud earrings and you can wear a small ring if you want to. PE kit wise, we have a branded school PE kit, and you can see there we have a range of options available. We have unisex polo shirts, we have the reversible sports shirts, and again it might depend on which types of sports you're going to be doing. If you're particularly involved in a sports club outside of school, it might be that one type of uniform is better for you to have than another. But everybody needs to have shin guards, everybody needs to have appropriate trainers, and you do need to have the school branded PE kit. So please make sure that you have those. And like I say, highly recommended for boxing, hockey and rugby is a mouth guard, just to keep you safe, and definitely not plimsolls. And it does say if you don't have the school black tracksuit bottoms or shorts, then alternative plain black leggings, as you can see in the photograph, or plain black jogging bottoms are okay, but they cannot have any logos on. Okay, so if you want to wear something that is not school branded, then it has to be unbranded and it needs to be plain black. You can get all of that uniform equipment from Ziggy's Schoolwear, which is our uniform shop, and you can find it in Harper Hay. But if you go to ziggyschoolwearmanchester.co.uk, that's their website, and you'll find more information on there. And that is our official stockist of Abraham Moss Community School uniform, both the regular uniform and the PE kit. So in terms of equipment then, like we say, you need to have your equipment in order to be successful. If you don't have the right equipment with you, then you won't be able to take part in your lessons and engage as well as possible. So every student needs to have a rucksack style school bag, like you can see there on the bottom left. So something like that, which will fit a few A4 size books in. If it can be made from a material that's a bit weather resistant, that will be better, because then your books aren't going to get soaked if it's raining on the way home. But we definitely do not accept small handbags or man bags. So I've got one example there, there's many of them, you know, they're sort of like satchel style bags that we don't accept, okay? They're just not practical, they don't work properly. Things end up falling out. It needs to be a rucksack, and that will then fit your books in it. If you need to, your PE kit, if you bring a packed lunch, that should fit in it, and also your other equipment in terms of stationery. And that other equipment is here. So you should have a pencil, you should have a ruler, you should have a purple pen and a red pen, and that's because we do something called self-assessment here. So your teachers will guide you in a lesson to actually mark your own work. They will obviously assess and mark work and set pieces as well, but every lesson you should be improving on what you're producing. So the red pen will be for marking it and the purple pen will be for improving it, and then the teacher can see that you've listened to the feedback and you've actively improved your work. So you need to have a red and a purple pen. You need to write in black pen, so having a few of those is definitely a good idea. You need a rubber and eraser to rub out any thin pencil if you needed to, particularly for things like graphs in maths and science. You need a book for the day's lessons, at least one. You can have more if you like. And the reason for that is because every single English lesson, you will do some silent reading at the beginning. You will come in, you'll sit down, you'll just get your reading book out and start reading it. And we want it to be a book that you enjoy. We're really, really big on reading here at Abraham Moss, and we believe in this reading revolution. So if you've been following Marcus Rashford in the news, we're really big on reading and the escapism that reading can provide and how much it can develop you in terms of your academic potential. And just that reading for fun, it really is a positive thing there for you. And it can help you with your mental health, your well-being, and like I say, your progress as well in a range of subjects, because you'll be reading different texts, different genres, and picking up on the spelling, grammar, and things like that. The vocabulary. So you need to have a book with you every single day. It might be that in other lessons you use those as well. You need to have a calculator. That's useful for maths and science lessons, and it may be useful in other subjects as well. So that's something I'd recommend bringing daily. You need your books for the day's lessons, like we say. So you need your actual exercise books for whatever lessons you've got that day. That's why you need to check your timetable. I would advise the night before, so that you actually pack your bag and you know everything's there ready, so you're not rushing in the morning. But definitely you need to check before you leave home to come to school. And you need a glue stick every single day, because you'll have lots and lots of worksheets to glue in and stick in, and you don't want them falling out your book and getting lost, all your hard work then going to waste and not being in your book. So it's really important to have a glue stick with you. And then on specific days you will need these things. So days that you have PE, you'll need to bring your PE kit. You might need food or money for food technology. Usually what happens is the D&T department will buy the food in for you so that you can cook with it, but then you need to bring the money in. So it saves your parents or carers having to panic at a weekend going, oh, you didn't tell me about your food list until now, trying to find a shop that's still open on a Sunday night. Rather than that, we tend to, as a school, the food is provided for the catering lessons, but you need to bring the money in to pay for those items, those ingredients. You might need to bring materials in for textiles, or again, possibly with money, and you will need a pair of compasses for your maths lessons and potentially your art lessons as well. So it's a good idea to bring those things in on those days, and that is why checking your timetable every day is really, really important. So breaks and lunchtimes, there will be food available in the school dining room at lunchtime for you. If you're able to get into the dining room at your breaks, then you'll be able to get food from there and then as well. We're still working out exactly what will happen around break times, but you will always be able to access water. And that's why it's so important that you bring a water bottle every day to fill up. We have water dispensers all around school, but we don't have cups for them. So if you don't have a bottle, you're going to find it difficult to get a drink. So please do remember to keep that bottle in your bag, and then you can just fill it up as and when you need it. You are able to drink water in lessons unless there's a health and safety reason why not to. So if you're in front of a computer or you're in a science lab, for example, you're not going to be able to, but most of your lessons, you will be okay to do that. And if you want to buy any food, if you don't bring packed lunches, I mean, you're okay to bring packed lunch. If that's what you want to do, then that's absolutely fine. We do ask that they are relatively healthy. So certainly, you know, you want a sandwich or something in there, or a wrap. You want a snack, you want something to drink or some fruit. We don't want to see massive grab bags of Doritos or any sort of big share packs of crisps, any massive bags of chocolate. You know, if you want a little chocolate bar as a treat, not a problem. But do think about what's going to fuel your body so you're successful in lessons. In terms of if you're going to buy food in the dining room, we have a wide range of food available. Some things are available every day, like we have certain wraps and sandwiches that you can buy every single day. But then other items will change round on a calendar basis. So on different days, you'll be able to get different main meals. And you can buy them either using your fingerprint or your swipe card. If you get free school meals, then your account will already be credited, and that will be able to buy you a meal for that day. If you don't have free school meals, then your card or your fingerprint will need topping up. And that the best way to do that is to get your parents or carers to do that online through something called Parent Pay, which is where they can use their card or their bank account to top that up, so the money goes straight into your account, and then when you put your fingerprint on the reader or they swipe your card, the money will just come off. And that's the best way to do it. If that's not possible for some reason, or particularly to begin with, then you can bring money in and put it in the machine, and you'll be able to top your account up manually. But the difficulty with that is you might lose the money on the way to school, or it could fall out of your pocket when you weren't expecting it. And we certainly don't want really large amounts of money being brought in. So it needs to be a little bit of money daily so that you can top that up if that's the case. But I really, really would advise that your parents or carers top up using Parent Pay to make life easier for everybody, really. And that way you don't have to queue and spend some of your break and lunchtime doing that. You'll also get access to a program called Satchel One. So you'll get a login for this, as will your parent or carer. And on here, all of your homework will be set by your class teachers. So you'll be able to log in and you'll be able to see exactly what homework it is you have to do and when you have to do it by. And there's a mobile phone app you can download, it's free, and you can look on there easily, or you can go on a computer. And like I say, your parents or carers will get their own login so that they can monitor what you're doing as well. And they can help you with your homework if you need help with it. They can check that you're doing it. And myself and Miss Whitfield will also have an overview of how you're all doing with your homework, and we can follow up there to make sure there's no problems. So we'll all work together to make sure that you are being as successful as possible, but there should be no excuses, because it's really, really easy using Satchel One to follow that and see what you have to do and when you have to do it by. Extracurricular activities then, I said before, the school day finishes at 2:45 Monday to Thursday and 12:15 on a Friday. So you will have the opportunity, if you want to stay after school and to do some extracurricular clubs. And it may even be that there's some to do at lunchtimes. Now, there's far too many for me to go through all of these because we literally have so many on offer. But some examples are things like STEM Club, which is science, technology, engineering and maths. You have sports clubs and teams in a variety of sports. Miss Bo Butters talked about some of those before. We've got languages clubs that you can go to. We've got the school production that happens every year. We have the winter snowcase and things like that happen earlier on in the year if you do music or you're interested in that. We have Key Stage 3 and Key Stage 4 prefects. So that might not be relevant for you in Year 7, but as you're going up through the school years, you can take on extra responsibilities. Pupil Voice Parliament is our version of the school council, which is where we have students that represent the rest of the student body, and they give their ideas to usually to senior leadership team members. and they basically say what it is that they would like and why. And actually the reason why we have a half day on a Friday is because that came through Pupil Voice Parliament. The students suggested they wanted to be able to attend services or well, basically they wanted to go to the mosque with their families. Some people wanted to be able to do extracurricular activities outside of school they didn't have time for. And because we have such a big push on attendance, we don't allow people to attend certain appointments during the school day. So enabling them to be able to arrange those things for Friday afternoon made sense. So it was great for well-being. It was great for people being able to attend the mosque if they wanted to with their family. And it was great in terms of being able to spend more time away from school, looking after other priorities in our life, such as family, friends, and things like that. But that was actually an idea that came from the Pupil Voice Parliament. So we do listen to things that are shared. We can't necessarily grant everything. We can't necessarily do everything exactly how you want, when you want, but we are always happy to listen. And if we can do something about something, then we will do. School choir is an option. The Duke of Edinburgh Award is something that we're incredibly successful with here at Abraham Moss Community School. My year group just gone, I think over 50 of them got their bronze award for the Duke of Edinburgh, and it was really difficult this year because they couldn't do some of the tasks in the way that they'd intended. But that has been something that's been run really successfully by Mr. Newton for several years in a row now. And we certainly do want that to continue. And Prince's Trust, which is an extracurricular activity for the younger years, and then for some people can actually be chosen as an option when they get a little bit older. The other thing then, and I suppose a key takeaway I want you to speak to your parents or carers about, is the importance of them downloading this app. So this is not for you to download, this is for your parent or carer to download, because this app is how we stay in touch with all of your families. We will send positive messages through there. We will let them know about things like trips. If you need to do return a reply slip rather than it being a paper copy, we now do everything through this app. When we send your school report, it goes through the app. If the school has to shut for some reason, whether it's a snow day or something to do with a bubble closure, all of those notices will go through this app. So your parents or carers really do need to have access to this. So it's a free app to download from whichever app store your parents or carers phone uses. If you can ask them to download that, put in your name, when you come on our system later in the year, ready for September, we'll be able to link them up, and then they will get all those notifications that I've just mentioned, all the positive things, where we can say how well you've done, where we can send your report through. And like I say, really important things like if school is closed for some reason, we don't want you turning up if you don't need to. So we would send that message through there. And again, in that first week when you're here in September, we'll send through what's called a homeschool agreement, which is things that need to be agreed to and to make your parents and carers as well as you aware of. And that will need to be replied to through the app. So they will need to have it. So please do ask them to do that as soon as possible. Like I've already said, literacy is really important here. That's why we have silent reading at the start of English lessons. And the Moss is our nickname for the school. And like we really do believe in literacy being such an important part. And that's why we're going through this reading revolution. That's why we have the silent reading of reading books in English lessons and at other times. We have a literacy and careers bulletin that give out some really key and important information about reading. We have spelling bees, like was mentioned in the video. You can borrow lots of books. We really do have an amazingly well-stocked library and a really excellent team in the Learning Resource Centre. And of course, World Book Day. We get very, very involved in World Book Day. Staff dress up, pupils get involved, and there can be rewards for all of that as well. So that is something to look out for, but it is a really important part of daily life at Abraham Moss Community School, and I'm sure you are very much going to enjoy that. So that brings me back to Transition Week, which is where we are right now. And obviously we're in this assembly at 9:30 on the first day. What I would like you to do, and it depends on whether you're at home or whether you're in school right now, is to have a look at some of these subject taster sessions. So like I said before, if this was a regular year, we didn't have the pandemic going on, you would be in school meeting some of your teachers and having a go at some of the subjects that we teach here at Abraham Moss. We can't do that, so your teachers have prepared some online versions of those lessons for you to have a look at. So if you're doing a full school day, I do not expect you to go home and do 3 full lessons, but I would like it if you would click on the English, Art and History lessons, which are today's suggested subjects, just to give you an idea for the types of things you might study. And then tomorrow, if you look at maths, drama and geography, you'll get a flavour of those as well. And you can really see what a range of subjects we have on offer here at Abraham Moss Community School. And the other thing is we're going to have a daily challenge throughout this week. So obviously doing things like this means that you get to know me a little bit better and hopefully you get to know about the school a lot more. But but it doesn't mean that we get to know each other quite so well. And that was one of the benefits, and would have been if we were able to all be together in tutor groups, getting to know each other. So to try and make sure that you can all get to know each other and get to know, what people in our year group have to offer, I'm proposing that we do an AMCS talent show, because I know there are lots and lots of talents and skills within the current year sixes that are going to be joining us in year 7 in September. I've heard a lot of it from your teachers. I know how talented you all are, how passionate you are about certain things, and we really want to see that so that we can feel like we're getting to know each other. So if you can share your talent, you can record it, you can take a picture of it, whatever it is, that would be great. Your parent or carer will need to email the transition email address to give us permission for you to be featured, because we want to make a show reel video which can be put on the school website and sent out at the end of the week so that people can get to know each other. So in there, it could be that you're doing a magic show or a magic trick. It could be that you're telling a joke, and make sure it's an appropriate one. It could be that you've written a poem that you'd like to read out, or that you've drawn a picture that you would like to photograph and put in. It could be that you've got a really, really good skill in terms of sport, or that you're a really excellent singer or dancer and you want to show that off. Absolutely anything at all. We would love to see it. We'd love to feature you. We do need, like I say, we do need permission from your parent or carer. So if they send that through to the transition@abrahammoss.manchester.sch.uk email address, just saying that you can be featured in the show reel, we will do, and we'd love to be able to share that so that you can get to see each other's talents and skills and get to know each other a little bit better before you arrive in September. Tomorrow we'll have the Great Diverse Bake Off, which is where you can do a baked good, either a cake or some other different type of baked good. And we're asking you to think about the diversity within our school. So if it can in some way represent your heritage, your culture, something you're really passionate about or interested in, that would be excellent. Wednesday will be a kick-up competition, and you'll see a number of our staff involved in that as well. So we'll make sure they're featured. The art challenge is on Thursday, which way you can get creative at creating our mascot for growth mindset, which you'll learn more about in September. And Friday, we're asking you to complete the Who's in My Bubble task online so that your tutors, myself, and your pastoral manager, Miss Whitfield, can get to know you a little bit better before you arrive in September. So there's a lot to get involved with this week. There's a lot to interact with, and we would love you to do that. You can access all of that information on the school transition website. So the link is down there. It's been emailed out to the parents or carers that we've got email addresses for. Your primary school teachers will have that link. But if you just go into whatever search engine you use and search Abraham Moss Community School Manchester, the main homepage should come up. And then on that homepage, there is a really obvious, really clear big button that says Transition Week. And if you click on that, it will take you to this page. Here you'll find the timetable, the letter, if you've not yet had the letter off myself, giving you more information about Transition Week and what to expect. You'll get a daily message from me throughout Transition Week, and you'll be able to see the different challenges, you'll be able to access the email address, and you'll be able to take part in those different subject lessons. So there's lots for you to get involved with, and we're really, really excited for getting to see you, for getting to meet you, hopefully when we hand out the welcome packs next week. I'm really excited for seeing your talents and being able to put those together for the show reel for the end of the week. I'm really excited for seeing you just get involved in all these tasks and challenges and getting to know you, because I've heard some fantastic things about all of you. Like I say, it's a clean slate when you join us in September, and I'm really excited for you showing us the person that you want to be and feel you are, and for us to support you and encourage you in making progress and being successful in secondary school. If you've got any questions in the meantime, you can email the transition email address, transition@abrahammoss.manchester.sch.uk. Your parent or carer can call the school, and if I'm not available, they can always take a message and I'll get back to them. And we just look forward to seeing more of you. I've got the parent sessions tomorrow at 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. So if your parents or carers are interested in that, please do let them know. That will also be on Zoom. And anything, if you miss anything live at all, any assemblies, any talks, we will be putting them on the school website so that you can access them later on. So thank you so much for your time, Year 6. I really appreciate all of you being on. Thank you to the primary schools that have facilitated this, to the parents that have come online, and we'll take some questions once I have finished the recording. Thank you.